Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and throw your ones to the sky, as Pat McAfee would say, because Roman Reigns is back. The OTC, the original tribal chief. And I know that kind of sounds like The Rock right there. That's not doing a sense like kind of like The Rock, but the OTC, the original tribal chief, is back. And the pop that Roman Reigns got was something that 10 years ago he would not have gotten. The fans rejected him, which, if you go back to, if you look at the comment section, because you see my thumbnail, it's crazy because I took my thumbnail is from a comment on the channel, on one of the comments from the WWE's YouTube channel, because Roman Reigns 10 years ago was this guy that the fans rejected. The fans said, "We see right through your booking, Vince. We're not cheering him. You can shove him down our throats. You can have him win the Royal Rumble, but yeah, we're not doing this. We're not cheering him just because you want us to." And so the fans rejected him 10 years ago. And granted, sure, Daniel Bryan's popularity played a big part in that. But to me, the fans were like, "Hey, we kind of like Dean and Seth a whole lot better than Roman." And fans were like, "We're not going to accept you." Like, literally, Roman Reigns, when 10 years ago, I mean, to think that Roman would ever get that kind of a pop he got on Saturday. I mean, to me, if you go back 10 years ago and you tell somebody that Roman Reigns is going to get a big pop for returning like that, when he speared Solo Sikoa, when he took out Solo, he hit him with the Superman punch, the spear, like the way that the crowd just ate it up, took to him, like, everybody. It was the acknowledgement that WWE wanted us to give him 10 years ago, and now we finally got it. And it was, in a way, that was done right. And you go back to even 2019. Go back 6 years ago at this point. 2019, Roman Reigns was in a feud with Baron Corbin over dog food. He had dog food smeared on him on an episode of SmackDown. Yeah, 2019 WWE was not that good. Then we hit 2020, and a lot of fans were like, "Oh no, Goldberg just beat The Fiend." And then Roman Reigns was like, "Hey, I'm going to challenge Goldberg." And the fans were like, "Oh no, this isn't good. Okay, we see what you're doing, Vince. We're not going to fall for it again. We're still not going to cheer him because, again, they just had Goldberg take the Universal title off The Fiend, in which I think WWE was thinking, hey, the fans don't like part-timers, so let's have Roman beat Goldberg so that Roman beating The Fiend won't be a negative reaction. Boy, they were wrong. Because the fans were like, "No, we don't want Roman and Goldberg either," because the fans knew that it meant Roman Reigns was going to get another championship run. And the fans rejected that. Then, of course, the pandemic happened. Roman Reigns was off of TV because of his history with cancer and all that. And then he returned at SummerSlam 2020 with a new character. He aligned himself with Paul Heyman a week later. He won the Universal title. And then, over time, throughout the pandemic, he was able to become the top heel in the business. And eventually fans accepted Roman Reigns. They acknowledged Roman Reigns as the top guy in WWE. And now, 10 years later, 4 years later, I should say, now the fans have finally acknowledged Roman Reigns as a top babyface. I don't know if you have to be a heel first before you go on a big babyface run, because it reminds me of The Rock, where The Rock was a heel. When he came in, he was this big white meat babyface, like, yay, I'm happy to be here, Rocky Maivia. Then he turned heel, and then over time, he became a beloved heel. He became someone that the fans really enjoyed, and then he became the top babyface in the WWE during the Attitude Era. And Roman Reigns is now about to embark on that very same story arc. Because now, 10 years ago, we were rejecting Roman Reigns. We did not want Roman Reigns to be the champion. We did not want him to win the Royal Rumble in 2015. We didn't care that The Rock was there to help him. Because, again, go back to the Royal Rumble 2015, which 2025 Royal Rumble will be 10 years since then. That is absolutely incredible. But go back to that. And, again, I'll show you this here. Look at the picture. Look at this picture of The Rock and Roman Reigns at the 2015 Royal Rumble. The Rock's face says it all. Roman Reigns, was supposed to be this beloved hero, Yeah, he's fighting the evil authority, Yeah, that didn't work. See, that didn't work with Roman Reigns, because, you see, they tried the Daniel Bryan thing. Oh, he's fighting the big, bad, evil authority. Nah. We weren't going... No, the fans were not going to cheer for him just because he was fighting the authority, because we knew that he was the hand-picked guy in the WWE machine. He was going to be the next John Cena. We knew that. And the fans rejected his babyface push. And hey, guess what? Seth Rollins' cash-in at WrestleMania may have saved Roman Reigns and saved WrestleMania 31, but guess what? Survivor Series 2015. Seth Rollins, he is injured, he's out, they need a new champion. So WWE says, okay, we're going to put the title on Roman Reigns. Boy, oh boy, they were not giving up on Roman Reigns as a babyface. And again, we rejected Roman Reigns, because we saw it as another opportunity that WWE was trying to crown Roman Reigns. And maybe the fact that they just weren't willing to just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and crown him, get it over with. But the fact they kept delaying it, and delaying it, and delaying it, and it was like, just come on. Fans were just at the point of like, just put the title on him. We know you're going to do it anyway, so just do it. So, Survivor Series 2015. Him versus Ambrose in the finals. Roman Reigns wins. He gets this big confetti celebration. And then Sheamus cashed in and became the champion. And then fans were like, wait a minute. We didn't want Roman Reigns to become the champion, but we didn't want Sheamus to be the champion either. So it was like, oh no. And it was like the worst outcome ever. Survivor Series 2015 was like the worst outcome ever for fans in this whole entire spectrum of Roman Reigns being pushed. And when you go back to that moment and you go back to Survivor Series 2015, you literally had an opportunity to turn Roman Reigns heel. They had an opportunity to turn Roman Reigns heel and just go with the fact that he's the hand-picked guy. He's the guy that behind the scenes is who Vince wants. It's what Triple H wanted. It's what everybody wanted behind the scenes. So when you have Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose in the finals, you could have had kind of a similar thing where Roman Reigns, again, let's go back to The Rock. I said he's kind of on this journey of what The Rock went through, and he could have joined the Authority as the new top guy. You know, WWE at that point should have put the championship on him and embraced the idea, this whole entire thing with the fans. Like, yeah, guess what? He's our top guy. Guess what? We don't care what you think. And you have him in the Authority kind of taking Seth Rollins' spot as the champion, and you kind of just roll with him being the hand-picked guy, but they didn't do that. They still tried to present him as this babyface, and then we get to TLC the next month, and they do this big angle where he still loses the title, and he gets mad. He beats up Triple H, and he finally gets cheered. Oh my gosh, it's working. And then they ruined it by having him defend the title in the Royal Rumble. I mean, look, the end of the year, he beat Sheamus for the championship. He was cheered. I mean, Vince McMahon himself made himself the special guest referee. And I don't know how or when or why, but it took Vince McMahon himself coming back on as an on-screen character and was like, I'm going to get Roman Reigns over as a top babyface. And damn it, he did. It worked. When Roman Reigns beat Sheamus at the end of 2015, it was in Philadelphia, the same place that at the Royal Rumble in January 2015 booed Roman Reigns out of the building for winning the Rumble. And then WWE ruined the whole entire thing by having the whole Authority angle again, because, it worked for Daniel Bryan. Good luck with that. Now, he's defending the championship in the Royal Rumble. Triple H wins the Royal Rumble. And then we get to one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time, Triple H, Roman Reigns, in which Roman Reigns wins. And yeah. So they've had moments where they could have turned him heel. They could have turned him heel against Dean Ambrose in Survivor Series 2015. They could have turned him heel then. Had him join the Authority. So when Seth Rollins came back from injury, Seth can be like, yeah, hey, Triple H, why you replaced me with Roman? You know, that was like an easy feud right there. Then, 2017. Oh, you thought Vince was done? 2017. Roman Reigns, number 30 in the Royal Rumble. He got booed. Then he eliminated The Undertaker, setting up a match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. And then Roman Reigns won. And the fans didn't like that either. And then the next night on Raw, when Roman Reigns came out to start the show, he literally stood there in an arena filled with people chanting, F you, Roman. When Roman tried to talk, they would tell him, shut the F up. And again, another perfect opportunity to turn him heel. But no, they keep him as a babyface. They never took advantage of him getting booed before because they were hell bent on. And so 2020, Roman Reigns returns at SummerSlam, and guess what? There's no audience. Vince can push Roman Reigns as this top babyface without the fans booing him in the arena because there's no fans. So finally, Vince can finally do it, but they don't. But the time they don't have an audience, the time when they could have put the title on Roman Reigns without the risk of fans booing him, they finally turned him heel. And we got the Bloodline storyline. Everything about the Bloodline storyline was so good. It established Roman Reigns as the top guy. He finally got a character and a storyline that he can work with that he didn't have before. And now we are seeing, or we saw over these last 3 or 4 years, or I guess 4 years at this point, the Roman Reigns that Vince McMahon always wanted Roman to be. The top guy in the business, the next John Cena. And Saturday at SummerSlam in Cleveland, Roman Reigns got the babyface pop that Vince McMahon always wanted Roman Reigns to get. The pop that Vince McMahon envisioned when the Shield broke up. That Roman Reigns would be this beloved babyface. And now, 10 years later, after everything that from a creative standpoint, that Roman Reigns was put through, finally, we are going to acknowledge Roman Reigns as a top babyface in WWE. It may have took 10 years. It may have took the removal of Vince McMahon. Yes, the bloodline technically started when Vince was still there. But the irony of Vince, for all those years, wanting to make Roman Reigns the top babyface and doing everything he could creatively to try to make the fans cheer Roman, and it didn't work. So the irony of the fact that Vince McMahon is gone from WWE and that Roman Reigns is finally the babyface that Vince always envisioned Roman Reigns to be is quite amazing when you think about it. And now we're in the next chapter of the bloodline. I said it before when Jacob Fatu came. I said this is the next chapter of the bloodline. Now Roman Reigns is here. Now the next chapter of the bloodline storyline can take off. The next chapter will be here. It will be the Bloodline Civil War 2. I talked about Jey Uso potentially coming back to the Bloodline. Are we going to see a new Usos taking on the Bloodline who just won the tag titles? Are we going to see their big reveal of The Rock as the mastermind behind the new bloodline? Then are we going to get Roman and Rock at WrestleMania? I mean, like I said this at the end of SummerSlam in my live stream on Saturday. The ride that Triple H, the WWE, Roman Reigns, The Rock, is about to take us on over this next year, 2 years, however many years it's going to be. Because there's enough bloodline members for them to keep taking us on this crazy ride. by introducing new members of the bloodline, that this might just be a story that never ends. But the story, the everything that we're about to witness over these next year, 2 years, however many years it is going to be must-see TV. You know, Survivor Series was announced for Vancouver, BC, and it's going to be War Games. Is it going to be Bloodline, Civil War games? Are we going to see the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline? Will we see The Rock? Everything that we are going to see over this next year, 2 years, whatever it's going to be, can all be traced back to 10 years ago when Roman Reigns, when the Shield broke up, was destined to become the top babyface, the next John Cena. And everything to the fans rejecting Roman Reigns as the next John Cena, to now Roman Reigns becoming a beloved babyface and being cheered and acknowledged as the top babyface in WWE. What a crazy 10 years it has been for WWE, for Roman Reigns to get to this point. It finally happened, but he's the hero that was envisioned 10 years ago. And now we just sit back and, like The Rock said, enjoy the ride that we're about to be taken on. I've been your host, Money Mike. Comment below. Let me know what you think of Roman Reigns coming back. Are we getting Roman Reigns and The Rock at Wrestlemania next year? Are we getting Bloodline Civil War games? Are we seeing Bloodline Civil War games in November? Comment below. And I'll be back with more videos this week talking about AEW All In, and boy oh boy, the backstage drama in AEW seemingly never ends. Living out the dream. Lights down, time to go. Ringside forever bold. Wrestling never gets old.